Hey guys, in this video I go over the assembly of the ETM RTR by Electro & Co. and all the modifications I did to it right away. So if you guys aren't familiar, this is an electric pit bike that's like equivalent to a 110cc gas pit bike. It comes in two variants right now, a regular and a light model. I picked up the regular model, which comes with a 72 volt 25 amp hour battery. They have also a 35 and a 45 amp hour battery option. And they also just recently started selling a light model with a 60 volt 20 amp hour battery. The main difference is the regular model has 8,000 watts and the light model has 5,000 watts. Also, the light model doesn't have adjustable suspension. So let's go ahead and get this thing assembled. As you guys saw in the beginning of the video, I unboxed the big wheel kit, the mod motor, the headlight kit, and also the RLV extreme chain. So when I unbox these bikes, I like to wear gloves and then cut the box open. It just makes getting the bike out of the box a lot easier. And also, when you have to recycle the packaging, it just makes it a lot easier. You don't have a big box on the sidewalk. So if you guys don't have one of these motorcycle dirt bike lifts, jacks, I highly recommend it. They make maneuvering the bike a lot easier. The model I have goes into a little tray that has caster wheels so you can maneuver the bike around. Just makes handling the bike a lot easier, especially if it's a really heavy bike. I'll put a link in the description below to that. So here I put the handlebars on right away. That's one of the first things I do so you can maneuver the bike easier. I did notice in packaging the handlebar clamp, it was probably upside down a few times, but it was a little misaligned, so I loosened the bolts on the bottom, lined everything up straight, and then went ahead and put the bars on. And here I forget to take off the front plate bolt and also pinch the wire behind the headlight bracket, but I'll fix that later. And if you're putting this mod on right away, just make sure you take out the front plate bolt, just so you don't have to take everything apart like I had to, just to take that bolt out again later. Also, it's important to use a torque wrench whenever you can, just because it gets the parts to a certain tightness, and also it doesn't risk snapping the bolt. Also, using a blue Loctite is highly recommended on a moving vehicle like this that has a lot of vibrations. So always have that. I have a big bottle of it it'll last me years and years probably. So here I'm putting on the front axle. I opted to use my own grease, although Electro & Co. provides a little tube of grease. I decided to go with the red Yamaha grease. And here I'm just gonna torque on the front wheel. I think it's 75 Newton meters, 55 pounds of torque. And I'm going to shock the front wheel later and put the pinch bolts down tight. And here, spinning the wheel with the front caliper loose and then pressing the brake just to shock the front caliper into position and then tightening those. And since I got the mod motor right away, I'm gonna disconnect the wires to the stock motor. And Electro & Co. makes it easy for everything. There's a little plastic panel, you just pull it back. Gives you access to the clip and the 3 bolts that hold in the 3 motor wires. So it's simple, it just pulls right out, not hard at all. And I'm just swapping out the mounting plate here to the mod motor from the stock motor. And then also, you're gonna want to put zip ties and organize the wires in the way that the stock motor was. I noticed the phase wires were kind of routed below, so I just kind of copied it and kind of made it identical. That just made everything easier right when I put the motor in. And here I am mounting the motor back to the swing arm. I'll pass the wires back through later and attach them to the controller. and it's all color coded as you can see, so you really can't screw it up. You could either use I think a Phillips head to take those controller bolts out, and I routed the wires the same way they were when the stock motor did. Tightened everything, clip the little zip tie, put the cover back on the controller, and here the bike's ready almost. I just have to put the rear wheel back on, install the shock. If you notice in the back there's the transformer that has a whole bunch of 12 volt outputs, and also you could put your toolkit back there under the zip ties, the Velcro straps I mean. And here I'm going to assemble the back shock onto the bike. It comes with a solid bar just to hold everything in place for shipping. Put a little grease on the bolt before I put it in there. And as you can see, the frame has a little access hole, so you can put an extension in there. Tighten everything down. Here I am using my torque wrench again. I'll put a link to that in the description below. It's nice to have a digital one just because you don't have to loosen it up every time you store it away. You just power it off. And here I'm just going to do initial wheel fitment just so I can align the back rotor and then get the caliper in position so I can get that lined up. So now I'm just going to tighten down the calipers, and the battery's charging. What's cool about this charger, it's pretty small. It's a 5 amp charger, so if you need to carry it in your backpack, that's great. And when I ordered the mod kit, the website didn't have the 140 link chain in stock, so I opted to just buy a 5-foot chain direct from RLV and matched it up. I also got the chain breaker directly from them and matched the size up and got it to the correct length to verify. And make sure you do this correctly because you only have once to break the chain. You're better off if you break the chain too long. If you break the chain too short, you basically got to start over. So here I'm doing the fitment for the chain, and I'm going to put the master link back on, and I'm going to tighten up the chain. This chain's going to loosen up. The first 50 miles usually is going to be a break-in period for the chain. Really the first 100 miles really probably. And the looser the chain gets, it's going to give me a little more clearance with that swing arm because this big wheel kit does come really close when the chain is tight. And once the chain loosens up, there's a lot more space in the swing arm. And here I'm just getting both sides lined up correctly so the wheel's centered. Here I'm going to torque it down again to 55 pounds torque, 75 Newton meters, and that's about it. That's the final assembly. The battery's charged. In the next video, I'll do my first ride and go over my impressions of the bike and what I think about it and everything else. So subscribe and like this video.